Hello, welcome to episode 8 of season 1. As usual, I begin by challenging your imagination. Our imagination is the doorway to our innovations, creations, and potential. So I sometimes ask us to hypothesize, propose our ideas of a time in the future. I ask us to think. So imagine inheriting the most successful nation on earth, the strongest economy, the most advanced military, the greatest influence, the entire world's attention. Imagine you spend your time cultivating that scenario. Do you do that? Or do you simply remain and assume that everything will be the way it was yesterday? I'm Dr. Mark Hali, population health and implementation scientist, and I herald our humanity. This is the conversion. Thank you for joining me for this discussion. As always, I introduce a topic, our community explores it together, and I return here to share the observations and lessons that emerge from those discussions. So today's discussion is about empires, but not fully. Maybe better, today's discussion is about success. History has a fascinating habit of reminding us that no civilization remains at its peak forever. Not because successful societies suddenly become weak overnight, but because success often convinces people that tomorrow will look much like yesterday. Consider Rome. For centuries, it expanded its influence, wealth, and power. To many, Rome appeared permanent. Yet, history reminds us that its greatest challenge was not simply what happened beyond its borders. It was what gradually changed within. Every civilization eventually reaches a moment when it must decide whether yesterday's success is enough to prepare for tomorrow's challenges. Remember that people are ever changing, reacting to ever reshaping social dynamics. So it's fluid. Every generation faces a different world than the one its parents inherited. New technologies emerge, economies change, power shifts, entire communities evolve. The societies that continue asking, what must we become next, tend to endure the longest. Those that insist, we've always done it this way, eventually discover that history doesn't reward comfort. It rewards adaptation. That lesson feels especially relevant today. Across the world, people are debating economic uncertainty, technological disruption, political division, and changing global influence. Some see decline and others see transition. I see opportunity. History cannot tell us exactly what happens next, but it does teach us one important truth. The future rarely belongs to those who simply defend yesterday. It belongs to those who prepare for tomorrow. That is why this conversation matters. From culture to curature, it's not about predicting the fall of nations. It's about strengthening communities. Regardless of what nations experience, healthy communities adapt. Healthy communities educate and organize. Healthy communities prepare for preparation that is necessary in the future before it becomes urgent. Because while history may remember great empires, people actually live in neighborhoods. They raise families. We, I should say, build friendships. We support local businesses. We care for one another. That is where resilience begins. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson declining empires leave behind. Our greatest security has never come from believing powerful institutions will always protect us. Our greatest security comes from building communities that remain strong even when the world around them changes. As we move from culture to curature, we don't reject the successes of the past. We learn from them. We learn from the horrors of the past, and we honor them by remembering them, by using those lessons to move forward. We refuse to become prisoners of them. Every generation inherits the responsibility to ask one question: what must we build today so those who come after us inherit something even stronger? That is the conversion from culture to CUREture. And until next time, be well.